Hey, my name's James Nicholson. I hope you guys are well. This is the October property news. Wow. A lot of stuff happened in September. And what do we think is going to happen this month in October? We're going to talk house prices. We're going to talk inflation. We're going to talk about mortgage rates. We're going to talk about EPCs and much, much more. So while you're here, if you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification for me. It'll take you 2 seconds, because we want to hit 8,000 subscribers. And if you haven't done already, smash that like button, tickle the like button, do something. Go on, just do something to the like button. It'll take 2 seconds and I'll stop talking about it, because we really want to hit 2,000 views this month. And every time you hit that little like button, it helps get more eyeballs on the content. So thank you to everyone that does that. Let me know in the comments if that's you. So what's going on? Well, we had some August data, but it came out in September, and this has happened in the last few months. So Halifax said a huge drop in prices. We're going to see some more data in the next few days. They said prices in August went down 1.9%, which was a real shock for a lot of people. And so let's hope that doesn't continue. It might. It quite easily could continue, because we've got asking prices down. We've got such a lag on house price data anyway. Where are we going to end up this month? Let me know your comments. What do you think the Halifax and the nationwide data is going to be in the next few days? So they're saying 1.9% down. Now, this next one was a big one. The Bank of England held rates at 5.25%. Really good news there. Now, Hugh Pill, he's one of the committee members. He was doing the rounds, doing interviews before, saying he felt that we maybe tightened enough already, because we're in a restrictive area, they call it. So they say that we've tightened enough that it's causing some pain to people. That's unfortunately what they want to achieve, and that they feel that maybe we've done it enough and we just need to see. See, the problem with an interest rate rise is it takes about a year for anyone to get impacted by it. So we went up 14 times in a row, and we unexpectedly paused this month. Now, the reason it was unexpected was we were expecting inflation to go back up. They'd done talks. The government was doing so many interviews, and they were saying there was a blip in inflation coming in September's data. And we were expecting it to go from 6.8% inflation back up to 7.1%. It didn't, and inflation dropped. Great, that's what we want. And so inflation was down to, not 7, that's not true. 7, it's down to 6.7%. Now, not a big drop. Really isn't a big drop. The government's target is to get inflation to 5% by the end of this year. Are we going to get there? We're in October now. We've got a few months. We've got 3 more lots of data coming out this year. Let's hope that they're right, because while inflation is great for investors because it erodes our debt, I don't really like my payments going up each month. And I also feel that increasing rents, which we have to do off the back of that, makes it really hard for tenants. So it's not the best news that this inflation's sticking around. So let's hope that that's right. Inflation keeps moving down. And what we've got that's good news is we had a pause in September with the base rate. There's no meeting in October. So we won't be having an interest rate rise in October. The next meeting is November. Good news. So what else was there? Banks have been dropping rates. And so that's interesting. And so the banks are fighting over our business. There is not enough people buying properties, doing new deals. People are just sitting on the sidelines. Banks make money with us getting new deals because they have fees and they just want to get money moving. So they're really keen to get us to buy from them. And a number of banks dropped their rates to 4.9%. Big lenders as well. Others likely will follow. And there's talk that that will continue. This battle of the banks is good. An Indian bank came into the market for buy-to-let investors as well. This was interesting. And they had a rate at just 3.9% with a fee of 5%. Now, I made an interesting video on that, which I do suggest that you go back and watch that on the channel. it's not actually as bad as you think. I think it could be an option for some people because it brings in the affordability. Yes, there's a big fee, but if you look at how that actually works out, it's not quite as bad as you think. I think it could be a winner for some people. So it's 3.9%. There are big fees, of course, but beggars can't be choosers in this market. What else is going on? So that was interesting. So do I think that will continue? I think so. I don't think you're going to see banks hiking rates quickly, like lenders hiking rates quickly. I think they just want business at the moment, which is good. And so that is good. Where I really get worried, and this is when 2008 was a disaster, was if banks stop lending, right? If they just stop lending, that's when the market will absolutely go into free fall. And that is something to be considerate of in 2024. Next, this was a big surprise and good news for landlords, EPCs. EPCs have been kind of cancelled. We don't know if you still need one or not to sell a house. You probably do. But you don't need to get your EPC to level C. The government has said that that's ruled out forever. Now, that could change. Why could that change? The general election. So we've got a general election that has to happen before January 2025. Maybe it's going to be sooner, next winter. Who knows? But that is going to make a big difference. So the government is going to try and do everything that they can to stay in power. That's their goal at the moment. These EPCs were going to be a nightmare because you were going to have to get any old property up to a level C or not be able to rent it initially. Then they changed it and they said it was initially going to be 2025. Then it changed to 2028. And they said, look, you can spend 10 grand showing us you did your best to get it to that level. That kind of wasn't clear either. So no one was doing anything about it. Now they've just abolished this. But if Labour come back in, this could change and suddenly it could come back. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do think if Labour come back in, they're not going to go, look, 2025 is happening now, guys. It's way too short a distance. So they might come back into power. But I would say that they'll be looking at 2030 as the sort of level if they did get back into power. So all in all, this was a very busy month. So much was happening. House prices down big time with Halifax. Bank of England pausing rates. Great news for a lot of people there. Inflation mildly dropping. In the comments, a lot of people on this that watch this channel said they're fudging the numbers. They needed to do this. I don't know. No one knows for sure. We'll never really know that. Banks fighting over our business. Good. That's what we want. That's what we want in a free market. Banks fighting over our business, driving down rates that little bit so that they're a little bit more affordable. EPCs, wow, such a shame. Lots of you that watch this video, watch this channel, commented. I saw at least 20 comments where people said, I sold my property because of the EPC. They were so annoyed that most of them said, I would have kept it if I'd known this was coming. And they're all a bit frustrated by that. And I understand that totally makes sense. But maybe with the prices coming down, you can get back in and get a bargain. Who knows? So lots going on. What have I missed? Comment below. What do you think about all of these things? Take some time and comment. Let's build a community here, guys. Do subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like, and go and check out this video right here.